Hi everybody, my name is Paula Desma and this is my presentation. This presentation is made by me, in this case theoretically by OMB Restaurants and Catering Company. It is a solicited request for proposal and it is also prepared for Shangri-La Hotel located in downtown Toronto. OMB, before I move on, it is a company that I work for almost 10 years. I'm currently working at one of its events venues called Malaparte, located in the Beltif Lightbox building. Um, it is a beautiful venue that seats about 150 guests. It's more of a boutique venue, and it also has a rooftop terrace that can accommodate up to 400 people. It is mainly used for private events, and the main event of the year is the Toronto International Film Festival. OMB is a thriving restaurant and catering company based in Toronto. Since its beginning in 1993, it has grown from one restaurant, Jump, which is also the one restaurant that I started out in this company, that I started working at in this company, to a portfolio of more than 15 restaurants and 9 events venues spread across multiple provinces, employing more than 1,200 people. OMB also works with 9 partner venues in the city of Toronto, including iconic places such as the Royal Ontario Museum. Additionally, OMB has a catering department that offers direct to venue catering services. Moving on, these are the proposal plan summary and qualifications for OMB. In a nutshell, OMB intends to be the executive food and beverage service provider at the Shangri-La Hotel in downtown Toronto. Their plan proposes the following. The takeover will be supervised by the company's president. OMB will put together a group of management team led by the company's operation manager. Senior staff from the best performing restaurant and event venues will help with training new employees, and some will transfer to this new location. Michael Bonaccini, who's one of the judges on MasterChef Canada, will be overseeing the kitchen during the first couple of months. Existing hotel facilities, tools, and equipment will be used. Current hotel staff to be retrained and retained as well. All of Shangri-La's restaurants and event venues to be operated by OMB. Qualifications. OMB is a relatively large company with presence in 4 provinces, and it is constantly growing. There are currently plans to open a couple restaurants in the Toronto region area, as well as one event space in Bayview Village in Toronto. OMB owns one of the most consistently highly rated restaurants in Canada, Canoe Restaurant, located on the 54th floor of the TD Tower. OMB is partially owned in half by celebrity chef Michael Bonaccini. As I mentioned earlier, he's a judge on CTV's Canada Chef. Um, this company also has presence in 4 different provinces, including Ontario, Montreal at the Mount Stephen Hotel, historic Mount Stephen Hotel. There's also events, venues, and restaurants in Calgary and Saskatchewan. There's also a large network of restaurant and event venues owned by OMB in the city of Toronto. In the financial district alone, there are 5 restaurants plus 4 events venues run by Oliver and Bonaccini. Strategic alliances with Hudson's Bay, and Katz Group, significantly and gradually increasing its presence throughout Canada. Strong supporter of college graduates, especially with those coming from George Brown College, with whom the company provides internships to countless students every year. Now, the main benefit of this proposal by OMB is that Shangri-La will be able to focus on its most lucrative division, which is lodging, providing lodging services, and allow OMB to turn food and beverage services profitable for both parties. OMB's impressive restaurant, event venues, and catering are a solid testament to how experienced and capable this company is. Project scope. This deal involves fully integrating the food and beverage department at Shangri-La under OMB's wing. The following list contains exactly what will be added. Entirely new management team, including chefs and cooks. Strategic refurbishment of facilities. New food suppliers. Some wait staff will remain, the most senior, but OMB will hire new wait staff. Marketing, sales, HR, finance departments will also be operated by OMB. Statement of problem. Shangri-La Hotel, a five-star hotel located in downtown Toronto, is currently undergoing a restructuring phase stemming from year-to-year operating losses. At the last board meeting, it was unanimously agreed that Shangri-La focus on what they do best, provide excellent luxurious accommodation for business and pleasure travelers. By doing this, the hotel would need an external company to operate its food and beverage operations, which is the main source of operating losses. Upon consideration of numerous catering companies in the city of Toronto, OMB surfaced to the top as the ideal candidate to take over food and beverage operations at all four of the hotels, restaurants, and its events venues. Background. Shangri-La is a luxury brand known worldwide with a portfolio of resorts and hotels across three continents. Shangri-La has been experiencing net operating losses in the food and beverage department for the last 3 years. At the last board meeting, this issue was brought up and it was unanimously decided that these services be contracted out to an external company to help revert the negative situation. Need for proposal. Total net losses in the preceding 3 years at the food and beverage department totaled $890,987. Several internal attempts have been done to unsuccessfully improve the situation. Consequently, this prompted the need to look for an external food and beverage service provider. Current problem and significance of solving it. As mentioned above, before, the current operating losses are the main problem as well as one that is unsustainable. In addition to the losses, there are other important issues that have to be addressed, including the following: very high employee turnover, inability to attract and retain new large clients, poor service in the food and beverage department. As well, reviews on this department on sites like Yelp, Facebook, and Google are not very favorable. 3 cases of documented food poisoning and lower business volume. Requirements for solution. Shangri-La has established the following points as requirements for a solution. OMB expressly agrees to supply catering services at all of Shangri-La's restaurant and event venues, as well as being exclusively responsible for all and any liabilities resulting from its operations at the Toronto Hotel. OMB will bid to obtain a contract for 3 years, renewable at the end of this period depending on its performance. OMB is contractually required to turn in a minimum annual profit of $750,000, of which 50% is to be paid out to Shangri-La. OMB will pay an annual fee of $100,000 to gain the right of operating all of Shangri-La's venues. Recover Shangri-La's reputation as an excellent, luxurious place to hold your special events and enjoy an unparalleled culinary experience. OMB will bear all the costs of refurbishment of restaurant and event venues. Project description. OMB is no stranger to this type of endeavor. An example of this is the Toronto Region Border Trade, located in the First Canadian Place building in the heart of the financial district. As Nick Lee noted it, since September 2008, the reputable restaurant and catering experts Oliver Mancini have continued their exclusive service partnership with the Toronto Region Border Trades. Solution to a problem: the what, the where, and the when. What, where? OMB intends to become the exclusive food and beverage provider at all of Shangri-La's restaurant and event venues, as well as its room services. When? Effective as of September 18, 2018. Methods: OMB will bring its experience, expertise, and wealth of knowledge to its new undertaking by providing full service restaurants, takeout, room service, and catering. Plan of work. The objectives for the first 3 years of operation include: increase business volume by 60%, net profit average of 25% on total sales, develop and retain a loyal customer base, attract competent and provide attract competent staff and provide them with growth opportunities, reinforce customer service. Schedule: June 1st, strategic refurbishment of facilities. July 27th, a job fair will be held. August the 3rd, interview sessions. August the 12th, training officially starts. And on August 26th, a soft opening is scheduled. Task breakdown. HR will be conducting the job fair and the interviews. Finance department will be overseeing the refurbishment refurbishment costs, as well as leading the negotiations of the entire deal. Sales and marketing will be responsible and in charge of selling the venues and achieving sales goals stated um, previously. Management team led by Michael Bonaccini and Andrew Oliver, who are both the owner and president of the company, respectively, will oversee all initial operations. Now, this is a little graph showing the projected results over the 3 years. The blue bars show the sales, the orange bars show the net profit. As we can see, with each year, there's a forecast of higher sales and higher net profit. This is partly due to the fact that the City of Toronto will be holding a couple of international events over the summer, and it's also a city with a lot of conventions. So this represents an opportunity for the sales team to increase those sales as well. OMB, as I mentioned before, has portfolio of restaurant and events venues across the city. So whenever one of these venues can't um, doesn't have a day available for an event, what they usually do is they recommend another one of the company's venues to host the event at. Moving on, clients specific project components. Shangri-La has specifically requested that all requests for proposals be submitted by April 28th, 2018. It also indicates the following requirements. The winning request for proposal will be required to pay the costs for renovating all restaurant and event venues at the hotel. A yearly rights fee of 100,000 will be paid out to Shangri-La to obtain legal rights to operate food and beverage department. A minimum yearly net profit of $750,000 will be required, of which 50% will be paid out to Shangri-La. Facilities equipment. With the renovations to the venue, a change is proposed to the executive ballroom, where its capacity is to be increased to 450 seated guests from the current 350. Additionally, staff change rooms are to be revamped, equipped with larger lockers, mirrors, ironing board and iron, and personal grooming supplies. Existing equipment will be checked for malfunction, and a new, larger convection oven will be acquired to be able to cook more meals for the expanded seating capacity. Personnel, security, cleaning, and outside staffing agency will be hired. It is expecting it is expected at least four more security guards will be hired, three more cleaners, and OMB will work with two staffing agencies for events that require extra staff. Leave It to Us and Reds, two of the most reliable local staffing agencies that OMB has experience working with. Now, past experience. As mentioned earlier, OMB started out with one restaurant in 1993 to what it is now, a chain of restaurants and events venues that it owns and operates today. Similar work performed by team. First, it was the Toronto Region Board of Trade back in 2008. That was the very first events venue that the company started running, that the company took over, and then others came along. Malaparte, the venue that I work at, like as I mentioned before, it is the Bell Tiv Lightbox building. There's also Arcadian Court at Bay and Queen, just across the street from Old City Hall. In It's actually located inside the Bay, in one of the oldest heritage buildings of the city. Then there's also the Aperture Room. This is the one that has been most recently acquired. It is located in Yonge and Dundas, close to Dundas Square. Canoe, as I talked about it earlier, it is probably the flagship restaurant of the company. It is the one that consistently ranks amongst the best restaurants in Canada, not just in Toronto or in Ontario. And Cafe Grill. Feasibility. As it's been shown previously in this request for proposal, OMB is more than capable to make this deal a successful one. The impressive growth the company has had since its inception, along with its high annual income from 50 million to 100 million US dollars a year, and its strategic alliances and successive rounds of restaurant and event spaces openings make this takeover very likely to prosper. Benefits of proposed action: a deal backed by the reputation of OMB, as well as its um, the fact that it is an established name in the industry, um, coupled with its inspired cuisine and extensive portfolio of restaurant and events venues, make it an ideal candidate. As well, the transition led by experts in the field, such as Michael Bonaccini, celebrity chef and co-owner, and Andrew Oliver, vice president, whom also led successful openings of restaurants in the downtown core, such as Bannock, um, the Guild in Alberta, Mount Stephen in Montreal, and the list goes on. Um, Allows Shangri-La to focus on lodging services, as I mentioned before. This will benefit Shangri-La by letting it operate the the part of the hotel that it knows best to operate, which is lodging services. Projected sales and net profit will allow Shangri-La to recoup previous year's operating losses and still generate a profit. And there's also a benefit from venue renovation, which will make the all venues more attractive, more beautiful, more adequate of a hotel known for being luxurious and for providing excellent service. Potential reader concerns. Previously, OMB struck a similar deal with Trump Hotel in the financial district in downtown Toronto. However, this deal came to an abrupt ending because the owner of the building sold it to a new company that was not interested in renewing the contract with OMB. Also, the building being directly related to Donald Trump gave it bad press, which consequently resulted in lower business levels. A few coworkers of mine had to be relocated to other OMB locations due to lack of work, lack of events. This is a sample of the zero-based budget. As we can see, the expected sales for the first year, they're in the $2 million range. A 25% profit is expected on this amount, and we can see the line item, the components of the line item budget. So we can see the majority of the income comes from food sales. Another thing to note is that front of house labor, as well as marketing, sales, and HR make up most of the costs. OMB is fully licensed to serve alcohol at all of its venues across the country. It also has sommeliers, mixologists with corresponding permits. All of OMB properties have passed food inspections. It also has all pertinent licenses and permits from the federal, provincial, and local governments in relation to the operation of a catering business. Finally, there is always at least one CPR certified person on shift on duty at every event. Food handler certificates are mandatory for anybody working at any of OMB's kitchens. Now these are a couple of testimonials by people that have dined at Canoe. Um, this restaurant has an average of 4.3 out of 5 stars on Google reviews. One guest said a stylish, swanky space on the 54th floor with inventive Canadian cuisine and exceptional views. Another one said that they had an amazing first experience together from start to finish. Service was impeccable and friendly. We brought our own table of wine, our own bottle of wine, and did the tasting menu. Each dish was unique and the presentation artistic to go along with our amazing window seat. As I mentioned, this restaurant is located on the 54th with beautiful views of the surrounding, including Lake Ontario and the CN Tower. The only dish that wasn't as balanced as the other ones was the dessert, which was a unique tarragon sorbet. In hindsight, we should have mixed this, and it would have been perfect also. Now this is the last slide, and it just shows what a typical banquet event order looks like at OMB. There are pieces of information on here that show you very important information, such as um, information for the events, such as the menu, the agenda. It's not shown on this particular example, but it usually always is shown on BEOs, as well as the beverage requirements, the type of bar that there are, which can be a host bar, ticketed bar, cash bar. Also, very important allergies and dietary restrictions. And that concludes my presentation. I hope you've enjoyed it.